to New York Terminal. Yes, New Terminal 2 has a storage facility, a liquid bulk storage facility, and they also manufacture what they call re-refined, a product used in antifreeze and make it into a re-refined antifreeze.
I'm sorry, sir. I can hear you but can't understand your back.
That's fine. Okay.
Don't try to overpower me.
I'll start again. New York Terminals is a liquid bulk storage facility located on the Arthur Kill here in Elizabeth. It rents storage tanks and in one portion of the area re-refines ethylene glycol, which is the main ingredient in antifreeze. The application here is to simply add some tanks and to create a building which would allow for protection for a filtering system. So the application here is simply to allow New York Terminals and its the tenants with regard to it to, I guess, have a greater efficiency in creating this ethylene glycol and storing it. And so that's what these structures are for. My first witness is Joseph Iowa.
Please stand up. Victor, you want to join in? You both are solemnly swear the testimony you're giving have a seat, please, Victor.
Yes, Victor Evanandra, City Planner.
You just give your name and give your address, please, sir.
Joseph, last name is I-O-I-A, 139 Hoxton Road, Colts Neck, New Jersey, 07722.
Mr. Iowa, would you tell us how you're associated with this project and New York Terminals?
I am the owner of New York Terminals, public tank storage facility. On the facility, we are a Go Green terminal where we are a Go Green terminal where we take in waste products through our Type D permit and re-refine them into virgin material. This project is to enhance the current facility, increase the storage capacity, and put up a building to protect the filtration system from the elements.
Just to go through a few little odds and ends with regard to it, would you tell us what this Go Green means?
We take a waste stream product and put it through a filtering process, and when we're all said and done with it, it's back to a virgin product, which removes any of the carcinogens that are in it, and also improves the environment by not being able to come up with a new product through crude oil.
Are you already doing this process on the terminal?
Yes, we've been doing the process for a number of years. Yes.
And the glycol is manufactured and used in what other product?
The manufacturing product can be used in polyester, rayon, plastics, wing de-icer, antifreeze. Ethylene glycol is basically in just about everything.
Would you describe what the terminal facility is like, meaning the tanks and the size of the tanks?
The storage facility itself consists of in excess of 20 tanks. Thanks to the board, their approval, our largest tank is approximately 50,000 barrels. The current installation is for somewhat smaller tanks, anywhere from 7 to 40,000 gallons.
Now, in this one, you're seeking to build some additional storage tanks around this glycol product?
Yes, we're putting 3 separate pads. On the pads, there will be, I think, 7 tanks and a small and a building that is going to house the filtration unit.
Now, the variance that you're seeking with regard to this is to have a building structure 1,485 feet allowance would be 15 feet, but you want to build it at approximately 27 feet. Is that correct? Sorry.
Correct.
And that is what is going to handle these controls and protection for the filtering system. Is that correct?
Right, basically, the building is just to protect the filtration system from the elements.
Are you going to have more employees as a result of this?
Yes.
How many more employees?
Initially, I would probably look at an additional four employees.
Okay.
How many employees are on the site?
Total employees on the site now is in excess of 40.
And, and that's what this application is for.
Correct.
And the height requirement, and you're doing this because of situations that have happened in the past, and I'm referring particularly to Superstorm Sandy. Could you tell us what you've experienced on that property being on the Arthur Kill?
Well, Superstorm Sandy, we had 6 feet of water from the Arthur Kill to the Elizabeth River. So basically, our full 10 acres was under 6 feet of water. We lost every single electrical infrastructure that we had, in addition to about 250 pumps. Total damage, about $6.5 million.
So as a result of that, is there additional planning to get these, tanks in and the protection of some of your equipment into this building?
Yes, we've taken numerous steps to raise up electrical boxes, infrastructure, buildings to protect the filtration system. Nothing's going to protect it from another Superstorm Sandy, but we're taking the necessary steps to try to reduce the exposure that we've had in the past.
The area where this building would be that you're seeking this variance from the height restriction, will this be seen from the roadway or affect the community in any manner?
It shouldn't affect the community at all, considering that the current height of the tanks that we have are around 60 feet, and the column that processes the EG is at 65 feet, and they've been there for the last 10 years.
So that's what you're seeking to do, and that's your application.
Correct.
I have nothing further.
Commissioners, questions for this witness? Seeing none, I have another witness.
I do.
Joe.
I'm going to call Mr. McGuire, Jim McGuire.
Raise your right hand. Please swear you solemnly swear the testimony you're giving will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Take the mic over to stand and do the same time and hold it close to your mouth. Speak directly into it. State your name, spell your name.
My name is James T. McGuire, M-G-U-I-R-E. I reside at Fort Lighthouse Drive, Hampton, Virginia.
What's that house called?
Fort Lighthouse Drive, Hampton, Virginia.
Didn't hear the answer.
Mr. McGuire, just to go through a little bit of background, would you tell us the type of work you do?
Now, I'm a chemical engineer by education. I've worked for approximately 43 years, mainly in the oil and petrochemical business. Well, petroleum chemicals.
Where did you get your education, sir?
Villanova University.
And your licenses are all in order for your
I'm
profession?
not licensed chemical engineer, so
Okay. Normal standard questions, I guess, but we recognize you as an expert in the field.
And would you describe simply what it is that you're seeking to do here, what is being done on the property?
And I work for a company called Bladeco, who has invented technology to improve the process. A company called Bladeco, G-L-Y-E-C-O, based in Phoenix, Arizona, who has developed technology to improve the recycling of ethylene glycol.
In fact, there is a design that has been made up which requires some tanks and some storage areas so that we can protect some filtering equipment.
That is correct.
And that's what is being sought here is an application to allow the construction of certain tanks and the building to house this filtering system. Is that right?
That's correct.
And would you be able to tell us the type of structure that you're seeking to build?
The structure of the building is approximately 27 feet by 55 feet by 27 feet tall, 29 feet tall.
Can you tell us what the building would be made of?
It'll be made of metal with 24 to 26 gauge steel on the outside, 4 inches of insulation, and a cylinder 24 gauge liner on the inside. The structure will be wood construction with a raised single roof. with a raised seam roof.
Is there any particular color that it will be?
The color is a brown stone, which is a light tan on the sides, and a color called snow white for the roof. Inside the panel, is snow white.
Just to get an understanding of what the building is for, so the most knowledgeable, would you tell us what the building would be used for?
Inside the building is going to be a device called a filter press, which is a filter press, P-R-E-S-S. It's about approximately as big as a school bus. It's a series of approximately 120 plates that are pressed together by a hydraulic ram, and you push solids and liquid through the center of this device, and the liquid is cleaned up, the solids are removed, and the solids will be dumped into a dumpster that will sit beneath the filter press.
What happens with those solids in the dumpster?
Eventually, they're going to be recycled because the material that way is a plastic shard from polyester manufacturing.
So in essence, the process, everything that comes out of this process is basically used.
We're trying to be as green as we can.
That's the go-to philosophy?
Yes.
I have nothing further.
Commissioners,
Recycling is one well site, not filter press material.
The filter press would go somewhere else. The cake from the filter press would go somewhere else. The liquid from the filter press would go to our distillation column and be distilled for glycol recovery.
Because in the old days, the filter press would be going out as a hazardous waste.
Yes.
Under the RCRA rules out, if I can run somewhere.
As far as I know, if we hadn't put distill landfill, it's not hazardous.
Okay.
commissioners, questions for this witness, Mr. McGuire? Seeing none. Any other witnesses?
We do have one, but it would be very short. It would be similar to what is being done. He's the one who designed the foundations.
It's basically a building to house this press. There's nothing else in this building other than the press.
Because of the water concerns, we're putting the electrical panel for the whole pumps and press and anything that was on, will be located in this.
But there are no people in this
It's
building.
not intended to be an occupied structure.
No offices or anything like that. All right, thank you. Now we'll call Stephen Kutch. It will be very quick witness.
Raise your right hand, sir. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're giving will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. See, speak directly into the microphone, state your name.
Stephen Kutch, K-U-T-C-H, 30 Layton Avenue, Pine Beach, New Jersey.
Just to start off with, Mr. Kutch, would you tell us a little bit about your background and why you were able to sit here and testify today?
I'm a licensed professional engineer. I've been practicing engineering for 47 years. I'm licensed for 42 years. I've been working with New York terminals for about 7 years now. A variety of projects from site plan, spill containment, structural engineering, electrical engineering. And I've been in front of this board before on the
Yes, I recall. Your licenses are all in order.
What's that?
Your licenses are all in order, so we continue to recognize you as an expert.
And just a simple question with regard to you have been part and parcel of this growing of this terminal down in the
Yes, in fact, every time I go down there, I see my stamp on about half the property, so yeah, it'll exist long after I'm gone.
Mr. Kutch, you had made some plans with regard to it that had been submitted to us, sir? You have prepared some plans that have been submitted to this board as to where this property would be, or where this improvement would be, and where the tank pads would be, is that correct?
That's correct. My role on this job is in site plan preparation, structural engineering, foundation design of some things.
Now, the fact is that the variance that we requested here is for a building height to be 27 feet.
That's correct.
And do you think that would have any effect on the properties surrounding it or the terminal itself?
Now, the terminal is essentially relatively small for a type of operation. I mean, it's split on both sides of South Front Street, approximately 3 acres on each side. It's intensively developed, as it should be, and it's necessary in today's day and age to generate profits. So really, in a lot of cases, well, you can't increase the footprint so much, you've got to go up. And as stated previously, we have a situation here where it's an ideal site for what's going on in the site, except for the fact it's by the Arthur Kill, and with a high floodplain. So the equipment's got to go up, it's got to get off a grade, and that, the equipment
saying, the way I'm reading what you're saying, is that the press does not begin on ground level.
Some equipment's off-grade, it's gotta be off-grade, because again, it indicated that so much money was lost in terms of superstition.
Despite the fact that this building is going to be inside the containment area, which you told me did not get as badly damaged as the rest of the area around it, with the flooding, per se. But you're saying that this press is how many feet off the ground?
I don't know specifically.
But it is off the ground.
It's off the ground.
So that also contributes to 27.
That's, the hiding equipment by itself, plus again, they can go up a grade, and as a result of condemnation. The interesting thing is, this site contains a multitude of both storage and manufacturing equipment, and there's many structures, not accessory defined as accessory building, many structures that are considerably higher than 15 feet. The distillation column itself is 20 feet in the air. So it's apparent to me that this structure can be installed. It's not going to be detrimental to either the zoning ordinance or detrimental to the public because of the location. And more than likely, with all the equipment on site, you may not even see this. South First Street, you probably wouldn't even see this building going up.
I have nothing further from this witness.
Commissioners, questions from Mr. Kutch? Victor, any comments?
I just have a couple of questions, Scott. The elevations on the site, the notes on the plan show this portion not flood zone.
Excuse me?
Note 17 on the cover sheet shows that this part of the property is not in the flood zone, and it actually floods. Without going into a lot of additional details, there's two things I'd like to see on this plan that I don't see. The elevations on the plan, presumably not very stage broken down. And so we can't correlate that to what flood zone it's in. But I need to know, pending decision approval tonight, that my office will be what the delta data between the elevation on the plans, the state elevation, and secondly, I want to see the elevation versus the flood zone. I know you have to. Does this project have to go to the state?
This is project design.
So prior to construction permits, if there is an approval tonight, I'd like to see the data revised so reflects state flood data. Because they're showing elevation 99, that's not elevation 99. This area is showing around elevation
You're right.
12 or 15. So I need to see that. So prior to construction permits, we just double check the finished floor of the proposed new structure.
That will be
correct. Okay.
And while whether it's in floodplain or what type, we know we experience that water is over 6 feet over the entire property. So that's why we're trying to do it, because we lost millions of dollars worth of pumps and flows.
Listen, hopefully we'll never live to see Super Sandy again, or anything like it, because it's devastating in that area. The entire waterfront in the city of Elizabeth sustained millions and millions of dollars worth of damage, some of which has not yet been repaired. Commissioners, any other questions before I open it to the public? Is there anyone in the public who has any comments regarding this application? If so, please come forward. Seeing none, Commissioners, questions?
Chairman, the application approval.
Secretary Urban, moved by Secretary Urban, seconded by Vice Chairwoman Ross. Barton, please call the roll.
Councilman Gollman?
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez? Aye. Commissioner Brown? Aye. Commissioner Carvalho? Aye. Commissioner Nunes? Aye. Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Secretary Urban?
Aye.
Vice President Ross? Aye. Chairman Knox?
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.